Hey everyone, this is Tom and welcome to another edition of Saturday Sketching. For this project, you'll need paper, pencils, a good eraser, and a ruler. Today we're going to be working on a seasonal triptych. So, with our winter reading challenge ending as spring was beginning, we chose prizes that were inspired by the more sunny outdoor season. And now that we've completed a triptych that reflects the changing seasons, we can fully cross over into spring territory and do a piece inspired by that stuff. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a drawing of each piece of equipment that we offered in action with a character on it, and we'll tie them all together at the end in the background. So today, let's focus on our skateboarder. These aren't going to be snowmen like this time. We'll probably draw people, but we'll use the equipment. So let's start with our snowman. No, let's not start with our snowman. Let's start with our skateboarder. What I'm going to do is I usually start with character drawings with the head, so I'll kind of figure out where on the page I want that to be. And I have this image in my mind of a kid kind of pushing off with his foot on the skateboard, moving forward at kind of a fast speed, but not too fast. You don't want to get hurt. But anyway, so we'll be doing that. Like I said, we're not really going to be doing snowmen this time because it is spring and we want to embrace that. So the snowmen are gone for now. So I'm just going to draw his head over here. And, I'm going to make him look like a kid, sort of, probably like me a lot. You can make your character look however you want them to look. But if you want to follow along with me, that's fine too. I mean, that's sort of the point of watching the video. But I want everybody to feel like if they want to design different parts of the character, that's great. You should absolutely do that. Maybe give them a different outfit or a different hairstyle or whatever you'd like. So I'm going to draw the helmet. You always want to make sure you wear a helmet if you're going to skateboard. Helmets are very important. Safety is very important. Even Tony Hawk wears a helmet, so, it's important to keep yourself safe in these situations. Put on a little strap here that connects to the top. There we go. I'm going to draw the little holes on top. Maybe a couple up here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we got our helmet. Next, I'm going to draw his little arm over here. And he's sort of going to be pushing forward on his back foot. So, but for now, we'll start here. Pull his little fingers together. Little line for detail there. You don't have to go too crazy with the details. Lord knows I'm not going to. There we go. Got an arm going. I'm going to draw a line across here that extends past the line of his arm to show that his t-shirt sleeve is a little bit longer than his arm. You don't want the sleeve to be exactly the same. I mean, you can do it that way, but, I've known a lot of skaters to wear more baggy clothes, so in this case, I'm going to make it a little longer. So there we go. We got an arm stretched out so far. Getting close to what we want this to eventually be. Now I'm going to come down here and start working on the legs because you want to make sure you figure out some of the bottom parts of it before you figure out all the top, because then you might run out of space and draw yourself into a corner. So I'm going to give him a big baggy pants with his leg sort of hunched up. You know, and the pose is going to be a bit extreme. But we're going for kind of cartoon extreme style stuff here, so that's perfectly fine. Other side of his baggy pants. Have those come up. And now what I'm going to do here is, this probably looks kind of weird the way it is now, but trust me, it's all going to come together at the end. Sometimes, I've said this before, sometimes you'll see a drawing half finished and think, oh God, this is a disaster. But, you know, you just kind of stick with it. And, you know, you could find out that it's actually not as bad as you think. And, you know, the vision is there. So just keep with it, and I promise it'll look good. So we're going to bring this line around. And now, here's where it's going to start to come together. So his other leg is going to be pushing off the board this way, and that's going to make him look like he's surging forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a line from down here come all the way out this way. And then we're going to curve it here. Starting to see what I'm getting at? Don't worry, we'll get there. Hang on. Now we're going to come to this side. Add another line. Add some little wrinkles for the pants. And have that stretch out here. And those are his pants. So you see his leg is starting to, the other leg is starting to come out. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, close the pants. Over here, I'm gonna draw the edge of the shirt. Now I'm gonna put the line at the bottom of the shirt out more because we're gonna have it sort of hanging off of him from the back, because then that'll help people see that he's moving forward, because the wind will be blowing his shirt back. So we're gonna add a few little wrinkles this way. Here what we'll do is we'll bring the line out. This will be his other arm. And over here I'm going to pull the shoulder up a bit and swing it around. I've sort of drawn myself into a pickle here. I brought my line a little too far. So I'm going to erase a little bit of it, pull it back, and then draw a line across, and this will be the sleeve of his shirt. Now we already had the sleeve on this side appear longer than the actual arm width, so we have to keep that consistent. So what we'll do is we'll draw a line here for his arm. And have that come down. We got the rest of his hand. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. Just making sure. You never know. Sometimes I miscount. Okay. Starting to come together. Now over here, I'm going to draw a sneaker, which is what most people who skateboard wear, sneakers. I don't know many skateboarders who wear dress shoes, but maybe they're out there. Sneakers can be tricky. Shoes in general can be tricky because of the way you draw the lines at the bottom. I don't want to overcomplicate it, so I'm actually going to erase that. And it's always good to draw in pencil, because then you either make mistakes or you do things you don't realize don't work until after you see something else. And so you have to erase and redraw some stuff, and that's okay. That's all part of the process. We're going a bit cartoony here, so I'm going to have the bottom of his shoe just be a straight line. I mean, it's not straight, it's a curved line, but it doesn't move in too many different directions. We don't want it to get overcomplicated. So, draw another line there. And then we're going to come across the top of this and bring it as a curved line down this way. Another line here. What we're going to do here is draw some lines across for the laces. There we go. And a line back here. There you go. He's got a cool sneaker on. We'll do the same thing back here. Now this foot, as you can see, is a lot smaller than the first foot we drew. But that's perspective that does that. And what perspective is like we use it to determine how far away or close something is to you on a page. So drawing something smaller means you're trying to explain that it's farther away. So this foot is farther away from the camera than this foot is. This foot's bigger, it's a lot closer. So it's that's how we're doing this. 3 for the laces. And back again. All right, so you sort of see where I'm going for, right? With him pushing off. Now we have to add the most important part, the skateboard. So this is where it gets a little bit complicated because of the perspective and because of the way skateboards are shaped. We're going to make this a little easier for ourselves, though. What I'm going to do here, actually, is take our ruler and draw a straight line. Make sure that the ruler comes above where his foot is drawn, because his foot is going to be on the inside of it. So I'll show you what I mean. So take it up a bit, draw a line connecting to the shoe, and then draw a line connecting from the other side. And you don't want to go too far back, but more or less across the width of our character here. Okay. So as you can see, like, because his foot is a little bit farther out, it looks like he's standing on this thing instead of, on top of it. You want it to be on the inside a little bit. So we'll take our ruler, come down, draw another straight line across. Okay, great, it's looking good. Now it sort of looks like this is the board. The space between these two lines is what our board is. And so we're going to come to the edge of this line and draw a curve connecting the two. And that's the one edge of our board. This is the other. Now, to get a little bit more complicated, we're going to add a little bit of line work down here at the bottom to signify the edge of the board. And when we get to the part where the straight line is, we can take our ruler and do another straight line to connect it. There we go. And then come up here, give it another curve. Great, so that's our board. And what we can do now is we can also add the little screws on the edge there. Most skateboards have those little screws on them. So where the wheels go, and that'll help us determine where we're going to place the wheels. Underneath those screws, we'll draw a little circle underneath the board. You don't want to draw a full circle. You want the circle to be cut off by this line a little bit to show that it's underneath the board. So we'll do little curves that way. And then we'll do another little line up here. This will be the second wheel. It's behind and underneath, so we draw even less of that wheel. Once again, we'll draw the screws over here. And our wheel again. And with the wheels, if you want, you can take your ruler and make sure that they're even. But I won't hold it against you if you don't do that. Another curve over here for the other wheel. And what I'm going to do now is, behind the skateboard, I'm going to draw another straight line going from the edge of the page to the board. And the edge of the board on this side, and I'm going to go bring it a little bit out just like that. And what this is this is going to be the road that he's traveling on. I'm going to add some lines, 1, 2, 3, in descending order of length. 1, let me redo those with the ruler. Sometimes it's better with the ruler. It's better to get those straight lines with the ruler. 1, stretch it out here. 2, a little less. And 3, even less than that. And what that does is it'll make it look like the wheels are moving. 1, 2, a little less, and 3, even less than that. And it sort of looks like he's moving forward now, doesn't it? Now, the edge of this line, what we're going to do here is we're going to get a little fancy with it. We're going to do a big curve. And we're going to spin it around this way. And we're going to curve it around that way. And this is going to look like it's going to make it look like a big long road that our skateboarder's been traveling on. Over here, we're going to draw a line nice and close to the other edge of the road. And we're going to put those lines together really close. Because like I said with perspective, when things are farther away, you draw them smaller and closer together. So this road over here is supposedly the same length as this road out here. But it looks wider on this side because it's closer to us. So what we'll do is, as we get closer to the front of the page, we'll make it wider so that it looks like it's a big road. So we'll start thin, and as we get closer, we'll start to curve out. Now you see this side is a bit thicker, and we're going to keep going and curve right here. That way, let me fix that curve a bit. The implication for the viewer will be that this road turns into this road. And from here, what we'll do is we'll draw a line across behind our skater. And this will be our little horizon line. All right. I should probably give our skater guy a face, shouldn't I? That would probably be good, so he can see where he's going with his eyes. So I'm going to give him big round eyes. Going to give him sharp lines for his eyebrows. Probably looks a little angry, but I'm going for determination here. And we'll be able to fix that in a bit. And I'm going to draw a little line down here, and then a hook around it for a nose. And then we're going to give him a smirk like that. And we'll draw his eyes like this, like that. Another little line inside, another little line inside. There you go. He looks a little less angry and a little bit more determined. Little cartoon lines in there for the ears. Line down here for the neck, and we'll give a curve around it for the line of the shirt. And then this is the part where I sort of would go into more detail. So I'll do a line here for his t-shirt line and some folds. When you're drawing a person with clothes, you know, like any kind of fabric will fold. If you notice in real life, when you bend your arm, the sleeve folds in a lot of different ways. So it can get pretty complicated. You don't necessarily have to add that detail, especially in a cartoon, but it adds a little bit more depth, I suppose. So you can leave it that way. What you can even do is you can get designy with it. You can start to do stripes or polka dots or whatever you want to do. Maybe put a cool skull and crossbones or something on there. Whatever you want. I'm just going to draw some t-shirt folds. And you can either add them or not. Doesn't really need them. But I like drawing them. I have fun drawing that sort of stuff, so I draw it all the time. I'll even add some over here. This will show that his shirt is folding and moving in a certain direction. It adds to the life of the drawing, you know. Makes it look more dramatic and in motion. Add some lines down here for his baggy pants. And here. All right, we got ourselves a little skateboarder. After that, we can add other details like flowers and clouds or whatever you want to add. I'm going to add a little sun in the corner here. And there you have it. We got ourselves a skateboarder. Now, what we'll do next time around is we'll take a page and connect it to this side by drawing our road and our horizon line and stretching it across. And we'll add, maybe we'll do a bike next time. That's a little complicated, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. And we'll be short on the details, so it won't be too difficult to do. But I think it'll look pretty cool. All right, well, I hope you had fun doing our little skateboard guy here. Like I said, next week we'll do a biker, and then we'll go on from there. In the meantime, thanks for joining me. Take care. See you soon.